Right. We slapped down a ward here.
Hmm.
For what purpose?
Well, the only reason, well, what I was gonna do with that, I was gonna actually just like word his blue just to make sure that he was there. But then like since like he actually showed up in the bush, I kind of just like panic warded and just like went back with it anyways.
Yeah, it's fine. Versus Leona's, Nautilus's, Thrash's, Blitzes, and the Seal, I just like to slap it here. Reset and get my scanner. This is very nice. I think this earns the Jax a gank at some point.
Hmm.
Because, although, at this point we know that Olaf is starting on the blue, so I don't think we're worried about any
Yeah,
invades. What
and
is
and
your
it's good to
favorite
note.
clear?
Oh, sorry, my bad. It's good. It's just noteworthy that I'm actually dual queue with the mid laner.
Okay, excellent. That's very good. And it's an Akali, so you
Right.
should have prior. Okay, I'll see how that folds. I've played
Yeah.
with an Akali main as well, so
Yeah.
context. What's your favorite clear then? Because you're playing with a mid, obviously, what you're gonna try and gank that early. Is that your game plan pretty much every game?
Yeah, so right now I'm considering I'm like Rek'Sai, I'm doing a 3 camp clear, so I'm gonna do like red to blue and then Gromp and then look for a gank. And then if like usually what I'll do if there's maybe not a gank available or like depending on their matchup, I'll just like see if I feel like I could clear faster than them and get to their red before they finish it, I'll do that and like trying to take advantage of like that early game power of like Rek'Sai, especially with Halo Blades.
Yeah, you are very heavily. Actually, we didn't look entirely at the rune sets, but you run. Are you a Hail person? You run this pretty much every game, or do you flex into
Yeah,
Conqueror sometimes?
honestly, like I used to be more in the Conqueror side, but then like well since they ended up adding like the stacks kind of thing to like max
Ah,
it,
it's fine. Yeah, it's
like
fine.
I switched to Hail and
Yeah,
honestly
it's still fine. The only thing here is that you can easily reactivate W now and get a knockup and an
yeah,
auto cancel and then another Q, which is added DPS while this guy's in the air questioning his life choices.
right.
That's what we want. We don't want you're just absorbing all this damage the whole time, and you only knock him up once. And because his cooldown's
Hmm.
4 seconds, you should be able to get a double knockup.
Yeah.
Which again, that's time not taking damage. And for you, the biggest
Hmm.
thing is making sure you're as full HP as possible. Because yeah, I know you're kind of thinking, let me go into this Olaf. Now we know he's still a blue. I would anticipate he's still going to do a full clear as Olaf's like to do, or at least a 5 camp. Um, but with Halo Blades, I think I would kill an Olaf at red
Yeah.
if I get to jump on him. But if he's a good Olaf and you don't get to jump and anything goes wrong, he will beat you.
Right.
He will beat you.
I, I forget what actually ends up happening here,
Let's
but
see,
I
let's
know
see your pathing here.
yeah.
Let's see. This is just absolutely basic. We throw out the Q. That's a knock. Okay, the knockup doesn't land. Okay,
I think we still get it.
that's
Yeah,
easy.
just red
Yeah.
buff.
The
Yeah.
nice thing about Rek'Sai early is even if things go a bit wrong, like there we don't get the knockup and auto cancel. It's just so much damage with Halo Blades you can still kill. Okay,
Right.
so I like this. I'm still a fan of red Krugs Raptors into a gank as well. Alternatively, you can also Wolf solo, red Krugs bot lane gank, or you can simply do a Wolf solo start, blue Gromp into the mid lane gank, into your red, and then you have prior over this crab in this bottom lane. So I'm just throwing some routes at you that I think, if you only ever run that route, some other things you can sort of throw in if you think there's a lane that's more gankable. Because mid lane doesn't have CC, so if you are the damage, like you guys have to together just turbo burn the person as fast as possible with damage. But sometimes the Kali will not need that, and maybe there's a better lane to gank, so I would look just to those other routes as well. And on the Conqueror thing, it's still good.
Yeah,
In
okay.
Korea, they only run it. I don't think I see a Korean Rek'Sai run Halo Blades.
Right.
I am a Halo Blades fan, always have been. I like the early damage, I like taking control. However, with the current meta, as you know, very heavily on farming junglers.
Yeah.
And so scaling. So by taking Halo Blades, you're already putting yourself with a significantly narrower win condition. Because you're not going to have the sustain, you're not going to have the consistent damage later on. And if you cannot kill someone, if you cannot assassinate one person later on with Halo Blades, you're not going to have as much use in long fights.
Right.
So we're gonna see how the games plan out. It depends on your elo and region. I'm in a US, so I know even in gold you can do the best thing you've ever done, and at 20 minutes some dude's gonna split push at the wrong time, die, you lose a dragon that should have been yours, and now the game's going another 10 minutes, and I'm Halo Blades Rek'Sai just crying.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely something you should look at if you are consistently finding games where you get ahead and lose control.
Yeah.
Now,
like this
go ahead.
game, like this is like I get so turbo fed. It's like that's why I even chose this specific one. I think like I end up with like 8-0 or something at like before 15 minutes, and the game just goes to like nonsense plays and just absolute throws. Sorry for the spoiler alert, but
I anticipate as much with the coaching sessions that if it's someone going 20 kills and on winning, then there's not much we can talk about.
yeah.
So here you ganked nicely. The Ziggs has TP.
Mhm.
I'll leave the sort of dynamic between you two in terms of pushing and pulling, because I've played with Akali and Katarina mains during Flash Ignite metas, and basically it would just be get the first blood, shove the hell out of the wave, so that she can go get a Dark Seal or some such. You get a crab, and then you just go back and kill them again. You force the TP out.
That's exactly it, right?
Yeah, it's fun. When it works, it's fun. When it doesn't work, it's very sad. What was your thinking after the gank here? Because you went to Raptors, obviously. We had a bit of time before the crab, and obviously Akali doesn't want you to push here. So what are you thinking is your next 2 minutes of game plan? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
So what I was thinking here, I mean, I did the camp, I did the Raptors. It's not like optimal, I'd say, but I used the smite on it. I'm not sure I had a second charge like ready for the bottom crab, but I was gonna basically do the crab, and then since my laner's kind of freezing it,
Yeah.
he wasn't pushing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I decided, I was like, okay, well, this guy, either he's gonna TP back in and I'm gonna just rock his world again, or even if he just walks the lane, it'll be in the middle, and I can probably gank him a second time.
Yeah, he has no flash. It's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, for these, we like to walk into the Raptors. I mean, like, if you're doing a red Krugs clear and you walk into it, we like to walk to the big one, hit our Prey Seeker on the big one, knock up the big one, start your twirly whirly, smite it so it's dead, and then you can kite out the babies and just knock each one up as you kill them. By pulling it out now, you're taking all the babies a lot more.
Yeah.
But essentially, yeah. My only concern is that you're getting quite low from this. Because again, it's the same thing with the blue. You're not reburrowing. Whenever you can, reburrow. One, you'll get at least 1 or 2 ticks of regen. And 2, you get knockups, which stun. I think that's absolutely huge for you, because you are not running any attack speed in your rune set. From, not the glyphs, the core set. Like, if you're running Conqueror, you also get to run Alacrity, which also aids in your first clear and sustain, which also gives you more DPS when fighting and when getting kills. It adds to your scaling when you get ahead, whereas this gives you more damage. So, let me ask you another question. Are you a Q max into E, or are you a 3Q into max E?
Q max.
Okay. There's a Roy Demon. He's an E West Rek'Sai Savant. Has run Electrocute Rek'Sai for years. And goes 3Q into max E. That was the person I featured in the in that Rek'Sai video two weeks ago, so. Something to think about if you are really focused on early game stuff, but I think for you, Conqueror should be more present in your mind.
Yeah.
Where's Olaf?
So I'm taking it that he's gonna be like either he backed and is resetting his bot side, like in his blue, like probably doing his like second. Well, actually no, like second tier camps didn't show up yet, so he's probably top then.
I like the use of second tier. Good. I like using those words because it makes.
I watch your YouTube videos a lot.
No one else is gonna understand this anyway. I'm gonna need to make an index. Camp would say second tier, third tier camps. Like, what does this mean? Yeah. So at this point, I would anticipate he's full cleared, probably inefficiently, a little low, and he should be on the top side crab. Should be being the operative word. So let's have a look. Okay. He is still on his Krugs because he's even slower than I thought. And now he should go to topside crab. Okay, so we didn't know that though, right? But the point of knowing that is I would anticipate he should be going for top crab.
Yeah.
If he's gonna do the second tier camps, the first thing you must remember is that if you go blue into Grump or red into Krugs, that they will spawn at around 4:05, 4 to 4:05.
Yeah.
So it won't be up yet. You got a little bit of time
Right.
to play with. Like currently, there's nothing for you to really do because you got 21 to 26 seconds before the Grump spawns. You know he's most likely going to be here. I would anticipate as such. And you know you want to gank this again. So at this point, what's your communication like with your mid laner?
Well, yeah. So I told him, like, actually, at this point, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm on my way, coming here, and he kind of like he's a pretty like high plat, and like every other season, usually he's a diamond player, and just this season hasn't played as much. So like, he told me, well, he didn't tell me. He just told me he's like, yeah, I'm not pushing it, and like freezing it here. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna be there again. So that's what we execute here again.
Easy. No, but it was more about the fact that he was riding the top of the lane.
Yeah.
And we knew that Olaf, in theory, because we have no confirmation currently. Jungle tracking is great from extrapolation. And, you know, I've made videos about this. I've made streams about this. Ella's back in the day when he was doing this. Getting his coaching started would also... The jungler should be there. And then you turn on all view and he's just like some completely random place. But I would still be afraid that my lane is hugging topside with very minimal HP. And all it takes is one axe, and she's doomed. So just that's what I meant by communication. But the gank is great. Gank is great. And he saved his TP, so unless it's cannon wave, we can deny him. So this is good. As quickly as possible. There we go. There he is. Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. You see my point? Top crab coming from top side. This is why we're going to push this as fast as possible. And he TPs into the cannon. Yeah, big brain Ziggs. Thinking about that cannon minion. This is a nice knock-up. I don't know why she walked behind you. But yeah, that's well played. That's well played. She...
Yeah, so it's like it just from that it feels like oh, this game's over, you know? And it gets even worse than this, and even like more, and then just loses control, you know? So really, I guess even a note to say, because obviously I'm not just playing Rek'Sai and whatever. It's like, you know, obviously this is my early game pick.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm also feeling like there's other games. There's even another game I was considering sending over to look at, and it was just like it wasn't as hard of a like lead that was blown, but it was something like along the lines of I felt it was just a matter of like camp sequencing gone wrong. Like I'm 2-0 and I'm level 4 and he's level like 2, and then just and it was like I think it was like I was Volley Bear and he was a Graves, and it just ended up becoming that like from that at like maybe 15 or 20 minutes ended up going that I was 3 levels behind him.
Yeah.
And even though I had kills, but he had farm, and I just like that's where I think my camp sequencing is a bit off, and like
yeah. Well, you're Rek'Sai, right?
Yeah.
You're Rek'Sai, right? You're a ganking jungler. We can definitely farm well enough. It's not season 9. The master tier run I did last year with was Rek'Sai and with Warwick, so I feel very comfortable speaking about them. But
yeah,
I would do what you did, except obviously you didn't get 3 camps from this. So you'd have to do red side, gank mid. Top crab is top gankable. No? Yes? You do it, you don't do it. Mid lane comes back to lane. Okay, I kill you. I check for double crab. Very nice. Reset. I don't care about blue side camps because no experience. I'm just going to do Krugs and Raptors. And if you were behind, like you're saying, we'd get that catch-up experience. So I'd be juiced anyway. And I didn't have to do anything. Now, you're severely punished for that kind of jungling unless you do it frequently. Be honest, was this Raptor check? Again, you're not pressing W enough. This, for me, we're going to tangent and we'll come back to my question. W usage is absolutely crucial because multiple knockups and fights, multiple ways to regenerate yourself are what separate, you know, your Rek'Sais from your great Rek'Sais, because that allows not only CC, but auto attack resets and DPS and regeneration. And in fights, I know everyone's against Black Cleaver lately. Most of the time, it's still a goodbye. Sorry to say to Boris haters that Black Cleaver is still a good item in a lot of cases because of the CDR. I struggle with 0 CDR Rek'Sai because I am so quick and automatic with my Ws. Now, it's a lot of games, right? I don't know how comfortable you feel with the mechanics, but I'm in and out with Ws all the time in fights. Because having that accessibility is so huge, but we're not even using it on camps here. So question 1. You assume that Olaf is going to reset and go down to his tier 2 Grump and tier 2 Wolves, correct?
Yeah.
Did you know this was going to be up, or did you just randomly check?
For the Raptors you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say, honestly, I would say that I kind of like figured they would be up, but not like, I didn't actually think about it. I guess I would just want to go check and see if they're there, and at worst I get like, timers on it.
They
But
respawn at 449. So that's 249 he would have taken them.
mhm.
So that's good information. We can assimilate that. Next time you're against a full clearing jungler, or specifically an Olaf, if you are out at 449, you can check it. I'm just trying to eliminate the guesswork, because here, it's kind of random just to walk in and take it. But the fact that he did a full clear and it's 449, I think your instincts there are kicking in, and it's good. I'm saying this is good counter jungling. Because if he goes down to Grump and Wolves tier 2, you don't want to give him tier 2 Raptors as well. So we want to leave the baby there. This is 100% gone. Okay, now you walked over it. That's a mistake. Because what he's going to take from this is, right, gold elo things happened in the mid lane, and the Rek'Sai and the Kali outplayed us completely, and we greeted. 7 Sins a jungling video yesterday, right? Olaf is not going to come down and take this, or look for this if he's feeling a little greedy, right?
Yeah.
You showed on this going from his Raptors without having gone back. So what you could actually end up doing here, and I don't know if he's going to do this, but looking at bottom lane, this is not a very gankable lane until 6. But for Leona, for Aphelios, for I almost said Odin, for Olaf, excellent ganking, right?
Yeah.
You showed here, you want to do, I'm assuming, either go back to base or use your... You don't even have smite. I'll see, let's see, do you greed for this? Do you greed for this Grump? No, you don't. All you've done, since the push and the shove, is take 1 Raptor camp, which is great, but then let's just go into the bush and go back. Don't even...
Yeah.
You're comfortable. You stole his tier 2 Raptors, slap in the face, that's great. And now he has no idea where you are. He assumes you went back to base. At this point, all vision would have died anyway. Any early vision they had, that's why I swapped to Rek'Sai. Any early vision they had from defensive routes, from Olaf, from Ziggs, that's gone. Around 4 minutes 30. And you've just done a great thing, great kills, you're super juiced, you take this, and now you go back to base. By showing yourself, what he should be doing, and what he could be doing, is easily returning the favor.
Yeah.
Especially seeing as he has a scanner to use. So this is, again, bad jungling. But better junglers will... Better junglers that are also scaling junglers. So if you're having problems against Lilias, Graves, Karthuses, these are gone. Maybe not Krugs, but definitely one of them is gone.
And I definitely do struggle against probably like the biggest struggle I get is against like the Shyvanas and even like, it's pretty jokes to say, but like the Yees. And it's not even like I know how to deal with the Yee. It's just that like I feel like he'll just get like, even if he'll go like 0-7 just by the nature of the elo and like who you're playing with that maybe don't understand that you just need to CC the guy, he'll just like get super carried.
But even then he's got like 60% damage on meditation reduction. It's 60% I think.
Yeah.
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. It's just obscene. You think, hey, I'm Rek'Sai, don't worry. I'm gonna auto cancel, Q you, conquer stacked, I'm gonna eat chump true damage. Oh, you're alive.
Yeah, and then he survives through it, and then just like comes out with a vengeance. But so there's that. There's like I said, the Shyvana, the Yees, and the Graves. The Karthus, like I try to abuse. See if I'll take easily. I'll take a Rek'Sai into a Karthus just so I can like dominate them early.
But usually
then
when
it doesn't work out. Yeah, it doesn't work out.
and in this case, the thing is, that's what I'm hitting on. Is these are tier 1 camps. So by leaving them up, he does technically harm you. But if you were, say, to have done a full red set clear into the level 3 gank and everything else happened as it does, and it did, and he takes these, you would have lost your tier 2 Krugs and Raptors as well. So fortunately, they're tier 1 here, and if he fully takes them for you, and you're going to go upside, sequence down, that's okay for you. But the point more is if he leaves, a baby Raptor here, he leaves a baby Krug here, and you come down, and you could have a huge XP deficit. Now, fortunately, it doesn't look like he's actually thinking about those things. There he is, ganking bottom lane. We see it now. What is our goal?
So,
What's your goal here now? You're really fed. We went from base to wolves to raptors, so we're sequencing up. Are we looking to gank top?
So I mean, I think I don't remember exactly if that's how it ends up working out here in this instance, but I think like I know I'm trying to figure out that like okay, I know that I did the Gromp. I'm trying to like I think like I'm want to sequence kind of go back down like because obviously I see my red's gonna be coming up, so but I just went with the wolves just because they were closer to me, and like so I did the wolves then the Gromp, and then saw like well obviously as we just saw I kind of just see what I could do top. There's nothing to do. There's an RNG crab coming up, so that's great.
This is
Then I was gonna
fine.
go rotate back down to my red. So in this instance, I feel like maybe I wouldn't know. I would probably ask the question: is that sequencing correct? Knowing that now, like I'm kind of doubling down, not doubling down, but I'm leaving. Even though I know my red's coming up, but I also see now that there's so much time's passed that my blue's actually gonna be coming up soon.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And it's more that your red is currently up, and by showing top lane, we give prio again on the dragon. So you showed twice,
Right.
once here, and now they don't know 100%. Okay, the Rex is probably going back to base. She was super low. Maybe Rex is going to come bottom lane. Now,
Yeah.
in my mind, okay, these two camps are vital because they give you 6. Okay? The Akali is just shoving the wave, but you have 6, and you still have flash. Okay? So I'm thinking rather than going top lane, I would like to make sure I gain control of mid even more so. Because Camilla's 6 and your Jackson's level 5, so that's not optimal. However, this guy's level 5 and she's level 6. So I'm seeing a nice, let's go to Raptors, E over the wall, we can just dive this guy. You have flash, you have ult, dodge aggro, and she should be able to get the execute and get out. The negative here, the risk is we saw all 3 on the bottom line go up to the dragon. So because you're duo with your Akali, I think there needs to be a bit more communication about the fact that she has 0 vision score and 2 charges. You need visual confirmation. The benefit of duo queuing is slapping in a ward on this dragon pit, hitting this plant to see what's going on. And she can do that, right? After pushing the wave. If she turbo pushes this, now she can take a long pathing. You've got a nice little gap between this wave showing up. So this guy's going to sit at a tower twiddling his thumbs. She's going to be doing nothing. Let's go hit this, knowing they're on dragon. And for me, you should be anticipating this as well, because the key here is, okay, Olaf showed bottom lane, and now everyone's gone. But if you're not clicking on the map and you're not looking at the state of things, right? Okay, you're currently in Wolf, so we can very easily click on this. We can see what's up. All right, Aphelios is gone. So they just went straight into it. Back to base. He didn't die. Back to base. But because nothing else is on the map and they have prio and we have no other vision, this is very safe for them. And what I need you to think about is, as Rek'Sai, don't make these things safe for them.
Yeah.
This is free.
So I think there was just something to note. I would say that probably even my thought process of going to that Grump over like going bot is the fact that in my head I'm kind of thinking that that's still a tier 1 camp, and I'm like, oh well, my Grump's going to be a tier 2 at this point, right? So I was like, I'm almost like okay with ignoring. Well, I mean, my Raptors there are going to be tier 2 as well because I cleared them before, but
yes, you did.
Yeah, so I'm almost feeling like I tend to even just ignore Krugs, just because like on any champion, even not just like Rek'Sai or like champs with no AoE to like burst stuff down, but like I tend to just kind of ignore it. So I was like, oh, you know what? There's my tier 2s coming up here for both. So I think that's why I went to the top side more than like even thinking about the top gank or anything.
Well, it's not about the top gank.
Agree.
No, but you're right. I mean, obviously I referenced the tier 1, tier 2 Raptors. In this case, they were tier 2 because you took them. The thing for me was more the communication with mid lane and synergy with mid lane that wasn't there. Like, why is she even remotely checking this?
Yeah.
But this needs to be a call from you. If you want to be that, I'm only talking about this because you said you want to be the carry, you want to control the pace, you want to take over the game. In this case, I have no issue with taking, say Gromp into Wolves. You can still get there to the crab. Also, Gromp into crab should also give you 6 because it was tier 2. I'm more thinking about, if you pathing top side, the ultimate goal should be ganking Ziggs before Flash is up again and before he gets ult. camping mid, getting her really, really fed. And once they leave here, say, listen, Akali, you've shoved the wave. I mean, you can lose 1 minion. Please go ward this. Hit the plant. The guy was level 4. Jhin is chilling bottom lane. There seems to be no awareness that they're on the dragon. That's my concern.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's not triggering, hey, you know what, maybe they're on the dragon. And you were 2 levels up on the guy. You ding 6 before you ding 5. You get catch-up experience in dragons. So he gets a bit of extra experience as well from that. This is pretty troublesome. So I'm pointing this out in the fact that you're a duo. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And even like outside of that thought, I think I wasn't even really paying attention to the fact that maybe like they would go to the dragon. I think I tend to hyper focus on my little camps that I'm doing and like, okay, am I sequencing right? Am I doing this? Blah blah, this, that, the other, right? So I'm kind of like, just speaking honestly here, I don't even think I even like, either I said, okay, I'll just give up that first dragon, whatever, or I'm thinking like, okay, or I'm just not even, I didn't even put the pieces together. Maybe I wasn't even watching that.
I think it's the pieces. You hyper focus on your own sequencing and also maybe this gank. This is a greedy gank, but also at the same time, I see why you went for it, but you know, you're never going to burst them out at this stage just yet.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So that's a waste of your flash, which is why I was thinking very heavily, like, if you're going to give up that dragon, 1, let's get vision so we can at least see it and make them shit their pants a little bit, because the guy's level 4. And if he sees, if your Kali hits it and you were here, you just run straight down. Right. And you can even just directly rotate to this. Try and get something, ping Jhin. Because Aphelios wasn't there and you would see that from the plant, that confirmation of location would allow you to actually go and try and make a play. And if not, just tell the Akali to stay mid, and then you can easily E over the Raptor Pit wall. I love this. This is amazing.
Yeah.
E over the pit, knock up. Yeah, you have flash, and you're good to go. And with Akali, the guy's 100% dead.
Yeah.
And now you can transition to your red side. You see?
Yeah. And that being said, so would you agree with the whole me going top, or should I have not even... I wouldn't even have been in... I'm thinking now, seeing it, I wouldn't even have been in this situation if I would have just went bottom, cleared that bottom, saw the dragon, and I could have done all that myself, you know, and then I would have pinged Akali, hey, look, we could actually, like, take this from them and kill them all.
I personally tend to have more of a map control playstyle. I would look to think they're on this, given that the gank and everyone just has pushed up, and you've got mid prio. Secondly, I know you're obsessed over the second tier Gromp, but yeah, you have second tier Raptors and Krugs. The Krugs are of high value. Now, a lot of those Krugs are being shifted, the experience is being shifted in Season 11 into the tiny, tiny babies. Even more so than they've been shifted into the mediums. But you would still get 6, most likely, from tier 2 and tier 1 camp. If that was your concern. That also allows you some presence on bottom lane to gank, and also allows you presence on the dragon. But that's only if you're thinking about it. This is not bad if Olaf had shown on a ward or any sort of vision going upwards. Because now you're mirroring the guy. And that's what you want to do because you're ahead 2 levels. At this point, you know, had you left a ward here, right? We actually didn't even check that. Had you left a ward here before your first back, you could have confirmation or not if he goes this way. And as you're leaving base, you can audible. Oh, Olaf's on the top side. Camille is up, a lot of CS. She's kind of scary. Pre-nerfs, by the way, because this is from Tuesday, chat. I'm level 6 after these camps. I can match and counter gank this. That would be good logic.
Yeah.
Oh, he ganked bottom lane, level 4. And he's going upwards with Leona, who just magically disappeared. And I have mid-prio. You know?
Yeah. So I guess in this case, even me being in that top side, like, see, that's where I think I tend to slip up, is that I kind of like get so fixated on, let's say, okay, now, or I don't want to go behind on my camps, you know, so like, let me clear this and then I'll go do it. But I understand it's like, it's
reward
too late.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny that you mentioned the reward yourself. I was just watching earlier that I think one of the coaching videos you did, I think, was with the Graves. That was like a Plat Graves. And it was, you were saying exactly that. You were saying the whole like fruit de mer kind of thing.
Yeah, fruits. Fruit of the map. Fruits of the map. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
Well, actually we speak French where I'm at here, so like
Oh, okay, there you go.
totally, yeah, I totally get it.
I was
But
like, the accent's pretty good.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, well,
exactly.
I'm not actually French speaker, but I live in a
It's better.
like,
It's better. I went to an international
yeah,
school, so I've heard some. My accent's not that great, but I've heard some very weird accents.
yeah, yeah, nice, nice.
um,
So
my problem for you is the following. I see the justification for tier 2 Grump, tier 1 Wolves, and Crab potentially looking for a top lane gank. The problem with that logic is that your top lane is behind level 5 and Camille's looking to go back. Most likely has lane prior for the vision. Secondly, we want to maintain ganking pressure on laners that have been camped and haven't reached level 6 yet. Akali 6, Ziggs not 6, Ziggs no flash. I'm diving that guy every day of the week. And so I'm planning that into my roots. Now, if you don't notice the dragon or you feel, and this is quite commonly the case, my bottom lane are like hamsters and, you know, Leona Olaf plus a Ziggs plus a returning Aphelios. I don't want to 4v2 that fight, so I'll give it up. That's fine. My biggest issue is this moment. So you greed for the Giga Rek'Sai one-shots, which we're not quite there yet. Because we have 1 point in E, we don't have Warrior completed. That kind of helps us a lot. And now you're kind of prime positioned to try and make a gank on the bottom lane, because what I often say in the videos, look for level 6 spikes. She is decently far away, alright? He is also decently far away. But I'm anticipating some sort of presence from the Leona and the Aphelios. And even though excuse me, no one is 6 bottom lane, you're 6.
yeah,
You're 6, and Jin has heal. So I would try, in my case, okay, look, we lost a dragon, I got these camps, great stuff. I left a baby of this one, so you know it's still up 100%. I can go take my red, take your tier 2 raptors, sequence down to your Krugs, and now you can look to make a play on the bottom side. Let's see if we can not get our Sona ahead so that we can actually leave that lane alone a little bit, because the fruit of the map that we want is coming in 58 seconds. Giant lady beetle from the void.
right.
We want this. We want this because if you want to control map tempo and control the flow of the game and be the carry, you have to ping pong those objectives. Now, we lost the first one, doesn't mean we can't still take over, right? I don't like that you immediately said, oh, I lost a dragon, Ziggs is going back to base, I better counter jungle the Krugs. Which is what I'm anticipating from your part that you were going to do. The tier 2 Krugs is great, you know, but it's not better than a tier 2 red, a tier 2 raptors, and a tier 1 Krugs into a bottom lane gank, knowing full well that Olaf is most likely either going to sequence top lane directly because he's bad, or he's going to sequence blue into wolves into most likely tier 3 Grump. There you go. Confirmation. Blue side. You're throwing yourself onto the side of the map that has no power. You've got no blue side camps up. There's literally one Krug camp.
Yeah.
One Krug camp. And Camille has a decent lead over your Jax. And again, she has ult. So what happens if she ults you on the tower? And you've already used your ult. Maybe she's patient and plays it well. You're just in a really bad situation. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, we lost. What's that? Oh, he's going back to base. I thought he was ulting himself for a second. I'm thinking, right, this guy's going to go to his blue because it's up, and junglers in this elo love their buffs. And he'll probably look to do something again bottom lane. So I need to be there.
Yeah.
I need to be there. That's my logic here. There's nothing else topside. There's no herald. There's no red buff. You have the timer. It's only spawning in 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's it. I think what I was going for. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get ready to like ambush him at his red or like steal his red, and then I know he's gonna come here. Like I feel like a lot of my tracking comes from just like buff spawns. I guess in this elo is just like I know they're gonna go for their buff, you know. And
So,
like
that's nice. Like that's a capital gank. That's a capitalistic gank. That's very nice, right?
right.
But we could have the similar impact on the bottom lane before these two clowns hit 6.
Yeah.
This guy scares the life out of me still. I still don't know what the hell he does half the time. I mean, I know from visual, but I don't... You know, I can see what he's doing on the map, so I understand the gameplay, but... You know, when Leona hits 6, and he hits 6, and she's 5 with no flash, I'm concerned. Deeply concerned. And I want to make a play before that happens so that Sona can get pry on the 6 with the Jhin, and that basically now is a free game for Akali if she wants to roam. But this is a nice gank because Camille overcommitted, but she didn't expect you to come, and you played it heads up.
Right. So, like, you see, I'm still trying to, like, wrap my head around the whole thing, like, okay, because, like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, yeah, you know what? Well, we got the kill there, and that worked out, and, like, looks like bot worked out right there. So, in my head here, it's like, I guess maybe it wasn't optimal on the end of, like, just talking about it, but it's almost like it ended up working out.
Well, if we were doing results-based thinking, which of course we don't do around here despite some claimants in other forums, good job. On the face of it,
no.
hey, you stole us Krugs, you stole us Reds, you got 2 ganks, you're a Kali gank bottom lane. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
If you tell me, if someone comes back in time from 9 minutes to 7 minutes and says, listen, if you go top lane, you guys are going to have 9 kills to 3 and you're going to be so far ahead. You say, okay, I'll do it. But in that moment, there was no logic to going top other than I take Krugs. What if he died solo? Or went back to base? Or what if Camille played more reserved, thinking, hey, we saw, because this is what's weird, right? They saw you go up. Red team saw you go up. They should know, okay, this dude's heading topside. This guy doesn't abuse any positional advantage he's had over you. So at this point, he's also an early game jungler, and he's losing his prio also. And the Akali almost did what I wanted you to do.
Yeah, exactly.
She roamed down here and made plays. I wanted you to simply take all of this and then sync up with your bottom lane for that play, which allows you to shove the wave, get a plate, reset, okay? Now be primed position to, you won't steal his camps, but you'll be in a prime position to counter gank. You'll be maybe 2 levels up. You have blue side camps and you have a herald. Now, this side of the map is looking loaded. We took everything from this side of the map, got kills, and now we go to the map with all the gold.
Because now, like, even just looking at it, even after the fact, right? I can't tell right now. I don't know. Is my red buff up? Because, like, right now,
yeah.
See, like, I look at the map, and there's literally all my camps up. You know what I mean? Like, cool. I think if I would have done that, going bot lane, right, and then I would have cleared that right side, I would have had my side clear. Yeah, he would have gotten a red buff. But I think that's the mentality where, like, I kind of like, oh, I'm gonna take his red buff. I think it's such like a huge power spike. But in reality, I'm so ahead. If I give him that red buff, who cares, right?
If Olaf is farming his red Raptors and Krugs while you're taking your red Raptors and Krugs and ganking bottom lane, and then resetting to destroy his soul because you're 2 levels up and take the Herald, and then you get to gank bot mid lane again and kill the Ziggs because we didn't waste our flash. Like, imagine this is what we didn't waste our flash. And now we've got 3 ganks on the Ziggs and a Herald, which you can just simply use for some plays. Because there's no, I doubt, I'm not a mid lane savant. I reached D3 mid with Zyra, a while ago in Volko. So I don't know Akali's matchups, but I do know that if I'm against the Ziggs, I ain't touching those plates. And if he gets blue buff from a very generous jungler, I'm not getting any plates. So, getting 2-3 plates here after a kill, maybe even 4 from the Herald would be absolutely huge. And then it allows you and Akali with that prio to double gank bottom lane. Like right now, the way I envisioned the game, you should be with her ganking bottom lane on a 4v2.
Yeah.
But we're here. And these haven't been taken. So this waste of time, great. You took tier 2 Krugs and you took a second red and you got 2 kills. But that's because she played it badly and our decision, put us in a position to capitalize, but it wasn't the right decision in the first place.
Yeah, and actually, like, on that whole thing is that I would say that the fact that everything is gone, kind of like even like that everything is gone on his side. Sure, that's great counter jungling, but all my stuff is still, like, let's say whatever it is, tier 2 at this point.
Tier 2, tier 2, tier 1.
Yeah, I think. But then when I have to go clear all that, his stuff's gonna come up and it's gonna be like tier 3 by that time, and he's just gonna be farming that passively because
he's
while
chilling.
I'm still farming, like, scrap camps basically. And I kind of just gave him that. For free.
You gave him that, and more importantly, here this is, we're not we don't control our teammates. Be nice, but we don't. But we can give them openings in the maze. Like they're in a maze and there's different paths they can take. And every time you give them an opening with a little bit of light that says, hey, this is the way out, they're going to take it. And if you're going down here that Jack still TPs, then I question his sanity a little bit. But I think it's less likely he does. because you got a 4v2. And the problem here is you should probably have looked just to hold this. Because now she's injecting this plate gold straight into her, what does she have, oil veins, you know? This is 2 plates down from a bad TP, and of course there's a herald here.
Yeah.
You didn't even think about the herald. I'm thinking very directly about, right, nice, okay, bad flash, but double kill, very nice. And you haven't got back to base. You're literally clearing all of this out to reset. And by doing that, what are you doing? You're automatically redirecting your focus to, hey, these camps are up, they're available, but now you're on the opposite side of the objective.
Yeah, that's it.
You've literally, of your own choice, put yourself on the wrong side of the map for the objective play.
Right. And that being said, okay, and let's say, how long is it that dragon's coming up, and do you have the timers there?
Unfortunately, I meant to press N and show me, but it doesn't show me.
Okay, yeah.
But I can see it on the timer here, 12 minutes. So let's assume you're on time, and oh, this one was taken at 6:13, so 11:13 it's up. So you got a minute and a bit.
That's it. So I mean, okay, so that's it. That's what I mean by like my camp sequencing is just a bit like off, you know.
Well, it's not so much the sequencing, it's just the direction. You were in the right place.
Yeah.
It was a great play, but you got so obsessed over taking his Krugs for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, and I was as I told you, thinking this guy's gonna do his blue and his wolves, and if this is up, take this, and then he's gonna look to go bottom lane again because he's gonna be level 5 and feel a little bit desperate. And if he doesn't show up, great, 3v2 gank for you. Hooray. You get fed, you know? It's just anticipating the counter gank, because if you do that after being mid lane and you just take this, stick up with your bottom lane, you get the double kill. Now you can reset, and you're going to be on the same side of the map as him because you know he's going to his red. So by not taking the red, you almost put him on, you know, he's like a worm on a fishing line. You just track him around.
Yeah, that's
And from there, look to gank top lane, which as you saw, you guys could 2v1 very easily at level 6. From there, look to push him out of the river. See, counter gank. From there, go straight to this herald. Make sure you secure it. Take your blue side, or gank at the mid lane and use it. You have a whole bunch of options. You choose your own adventure almost. You know, by doing this play here and taking these camps off the map, you force yourself to the strong side. Gank top, invade, take herald, take blue side, gank mid. You know, 5 choices. And you could even do all of them. All of them. And then, reset again with all your gold, like Smaug the dragon, and get as many items as you want, straight to the dragon, and you're in control. The game's over. But instead of being like 3 levels ahead of this guy, you're only 2.
That's it.
But the nice thing is, for me, is that you put yourself in the position to be 3 levels above, which I think a lot of people in gold looking for this platinum, and as you said, you reach platinum, they struggle with. You know? This wouldn't be up. There's no ways, because he just showed here, and if he has the blue, it's taken, and if he doesn't have the blue, it's gone. Because he was here like 2 minutes ago. Like that's long gone. Now what I'm looking at is, okay, 2 plates here. Now, again, hypothetically, what if you had taken the Herald, and we see a dead Leona, a minion wave, 2 plates left, and a dragon spawning? I think I've got a nice Herald play and a dive.
Right.
What do you think?
100%.
I mean, not now because Leona's there, but you know, there's potential for this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You could even just lay out the Herald and take the tower and then go 3v2 because there's no tower shots now. Obviously, we have to be careful. We have to track ults. Jhin has ult. You have ult. You're ahead. You know, every game it will be game to game whether or not you can make that play. But that's a play you have to look for.
Yeah.
This is primed. Absolutely primed. And the nice thing about it is, right, most likely it happens too far away from the dragon, although we know at this point it's 11, what do we say, 11, 13? So, you know, you could go make that play, and I think if you make that play, by the time it's finished, dragon's up. Bot lane's dead. Olaf is on the top side. And we can take this and reset. You know, it's easy.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we see this. Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I think I died on Leona.
So we're gonna say, right, that's an aggressive play. You die, but we get 2 kills. You give shutdown, unfortunately. But did you hear the distant noise of the void? Did you hear the sadness that is the Olaf saying, "Oh, thanks for Herald, buddy"?
Yeah, that's it.
This is your
That's it.
problem. You
Yeah.
feel like you have control, but there's only one thing that says, "I am a jungler and I am controlling this game." And that's
Objectives, right?
5 kills and 0 deaths is one of them, but then the thing that solidifies his rule is the people around him, or in this case, dragon chains. Just stacking the dragons. Every time someone tries to question your unbridled leadership, you say, well, look at all these dragons I killed. And it's such a mental lead over people in this elo, because I get triggered when they take Herald from me, and I know I should have been there. Like, you know, I went the wrong way. Shit. Also, no one seems to notice again. Look at this. So this communication between... I'm concerned slightly. Camille isn't here. She's most likely going to have ultimate. Olaf just took Herald. I'm very concerned that your duo is about to die.
Right.
Again, I'm thinking of maybe higher elo junglers, but at this time, I mean... Come on, Olaf. You can do it, Olaf. Come on, Olaf. The Olaf isn't interested in winning this game, is he?
It's funny because he still ends up winning. You know?
Yeah, but he's in your jungle. He was in your jungle taking Grump, and now he's gonna show up. You have to. I mean, he almost dies. He gets it anyway, right? But he gets it anyway because no one communicated. Hey, by the way, yeah, he went to the blue side. Exactly, chat. But that was so random. This is just, I don't know if you remember, I speak a lot about this in coaching videos, syncing up your gank timing. Like, if you were the Olaf here, you should be literally just waiting in this bush for the Camille.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Chilling,
like,
wait for her to sync up.
Tank, right?
Yeah, it's just
like
so free.
Under turret, like you're gonna have vision if she goes in shroud.
With a Camille
Anyways,
ult.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
This is,
for sure.
and then now you're running in there with ult, you just smack all your hammers together and she dies and no one has to lose their flashes.
Yeah.
And this guy's getting free time on this turret too, so the little leads you're not thinking about are the fact that Ziggs now gets all these platings. Camille got 3 platings top side. And we have 2 solo to Akali, that's great, but again, she should be looking to abuse something else. And we missed out on 2 to 3 plates here from a Herald play, so... Yeah, this for me, remember, that's why I opened the coaching with, I said, Rek'Sai has that 20-minute window. And every time you got a kill, you extended it to 22, 23, 24, 25 minutes. But every time he took an objective, or we were on the wrong side of the map, or didn't optimize our experience, that gets pulled back down again.
That's it.
This is risky. You sure you want to go for this?
Yeah, it doesn't play out right.
I can tell you. This is good though. I like this. Yeah, I mean, because you died, you're off spawn, but you saw Olaf top lane, so you redirect your attention to this beautiful Ocean Soul, Ocean Dragon, which we don't want Olaf to get. We definitely want Akali to get.
For sure.
But now this, I mean, you see her too. I'm saying, okay, out. Just everyone leave.
Yeah.
Everyone leave. This should immediately be concern, right?
I think this was a classic, like, burrowed, like Rek'Sai burrowed point, unlike in my own head. You know what I mean? Like, classic Rek'Sai main that, like, I do this in real life. Like, I just kind of, like, didn't... I thought maybe I was, like, had my ADC here, too. You know? Oh, it's a 3v3. Sure, if I take this fight. And then it ends up being, like...
Tragedy.
There's, like, 4 guys in a bush, and it's just me in a very... like,
fetal position.
Like, just a Sona, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's you, right there. This is a tragedy of the maximum scale.
That's it.
Yeah. For me, that was a good play. That was a good counterplay. We should, as soon as you see the Leona and the fact that everyone's dead, you should immediately be thinking, right, let's take these Raptors Krugs. And then once your ADC returns to lane, their bottom lane most likely sticks around also. And then now you can gank. Now it's nice. Now we can do it, right? You know, Sona, I think she used ult in that skirmish, no? Yeah, she did. So, you know, imagine you say, okay, Dragon, everyone's rotating. Let's ditch for a second. Let me take these camps. Wait for my Jhin to get back into lane. And it's the same thing as the Olaf topside. Now we 3v2. Everyone dies. You get 2 more plates. Now you can invade the Olaf. And if he takes it all, what does that tell you? Oh, that guy's going top lane. Again, tracking. Tracking by extension rather than, you know, tracking by death. This is the worst kind of tracking. Hey guys, Olaf is blue side. How'd you know? I died.
Yeah, that's it. I think I thought also it's like, okay, I saw him top, right? And he did that whole thing. with
Well, you got the
Kali,
dragon
and I
from
was like,
that. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's it. Like, I was thinking like, oh, let me try to take something from him, you know? And like, oh, but blue
Your
buff
wrath.
and the grump. But it's like, yeah, like, I mean, I got the dragon and I got, you know what I mean? Like, it's enough, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, like you said, like the little, use those objectives as your your reward, right, for doing, you know, something. So I mean, like here, I could, after that dragon, I could have just backed out, done my camps, and I would still be ahead, you know.
Wonderful, Ginold. You walked over vision.
Mm-hmm.
This is scanned. Okay. Never mind. So I saw that on the map. Oh, you did it. Right? Watch from their perspective. Watch from your perspective. You went up. You know, they were attacking you, so they got a little bit of vision, and you're going up. So you're telling them what they are. Which at this point is fine. But it's like, what is your team? Where's your team? What do they want to do? This is fine. I think I would be very careful though. I'd kite the can up to the top, kite it up, kite it up, kite it up. You see how he's showing underneath?
Yeah.
They saw you. That was a Ziggs too. You see, he followed through. That's where you kite it up away from him. Because you know if he collapses, he's coming this way. So you just kite up and go around. And now you can trap you for a dive. Kill the baby. Be patient. Be patient. Ah, there we go. There's the roam. Okay. So let me actually. I'm getting biased here. Okay. So I think I would look for a dive here. But the problem was the Ziggs saw you. So now at this point again, communication. Let's look for a dive. However, you should be cognizant of the Camille's roam. Again, this is the same thing. Like your mid lane is. Does she back control wards? Because I mean, this is risky.
Yeah, I feel like
It's a good roam.
I think my mid laner was a bit like
This is an
busy with probably with other things, you know. Yeah, I see. Like you're. I went for, like, I think he was even out, just to say, like Kali was out, and I went in again, just kind of like just thinking that, okay, it's gonna be a 2v2, but then the Olaf showed up, you know.
Yeah, so my mind was like, okay, let's dive this, but again, like, you know, even I was like, oh, wait a second, Camille's roaming. I understand. I'm focusing on all these little things with you, and I miss the Camille, you know. And in the game, you're focusing on all these little things, you miss the Camille, which is why this vision thing I'm talking about. Oh, that's neat. Nice trick. That's why she needs to really ward opposite sides. You know, like you've got this covered, she needs to cover this side. This is hers, right?
Yeah.
Time. That's right. The control wards only tell me that time placed them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, this is so. When I'm playing with a mid laner, everyone knows in the Discord knows Timo. I mean, I flame all the time. Ward opposite side. I'm yelling ward. put the wards on the other side of the map. When I'm playing support and I play with a jungler, I have like 100 vision scored 30 minutes because I'm just completely roaming all the time and moving the vision around wherever we go. And I think if you have a duo queue, that's the benefit, because as everyone in chat is saying right now, and as you know, people don't care about vision. All right, are you guys even saying that? What are you even talking about, guys? Oh, Graves is dumb. Okay, we agree on that, right?
Oh yeah.
Screw Grave. Yeah, exactly. This is turning. This is where your deaths. Okay, so what did I say at the beginning? We need to talk about your deaths. This is where your deaths are coming.
That's it.
Way too much. Okay, so the first death, we shouldn't have been here. We gave shutdown, but all in all, you know, I'm going for that play as well. Your Aphelios flashes while you're ulting in him. That's a tragedy of Rek'Sai. One day, you know, Sidious will be talking about the tragedy of Rek'Sai the Wise and how, you know, every time you go ult someone else flashes. This one was an int, and this one is an int.
Yeah, that's it.
He's dead.
That's the other thing. Like that's exactly what I said. Like I started off the game, but then there's little things that I'm feeling like, oh yeah, well I'm fed, and they're not. Like I'm so strong, and then like look at that, I just get like utterly destroyed. Right?
You're not fed anymore. Yeah. And the timer for your win is expired. And the thing is, okay, so look, I am a Black Cleaver enjoyer for the CDR. But when you're this far ahead, you know, a Conqueror build with, I don't know, how about a little lethality? What do we think, guys? A little bit of serrated Dirk, you know, into a potential Edge of Night, you will be astonished at the amount of damage you're going to dish out with that item. And the reason I'm suggesting it directly to you is because the biggest part of your mechanics that you need to work on with Rek'Sai is burrowing way more. You only burrow and knock up a camp one time every time you clear it. You need to burrow, knock every camp up twice. Especially early when you don't have the damage to rinse it. Obviously later on you just kill it in 3 twirls, it doesn't matter. But early on you're losing a lot of HP by not knocking them up twice. Which means when you go for these plays, you're less HP than normal, and you might find yourself dying too much. It's a very simple fix. Nice. Second thing is, of course, even on the camps here, knock them up, auto attack into a Q, because the Q is an auto attack cancel, right? You can auto attack and then just spam Q. It's added DPS, added Fury, which means your E comes up sooner. And you can do the same thing on everyone else. And it also helps you stack Conqueror faster, so when you chomp down at 12 stacks with an E, hurts.
Right.
It really hurts. So, those two things mechanically for me, coupled with maybe, I'd say, Trident Flex Q. I see you play a lot of Flex Q with your friends. Or maybe you don't, you just like spamming for warm-ups. Great way to try and get to grips with the Conqueror. And the reason I'm suggesting Edge of Night for you is, one, you're against a Ziggs and a Leona. And an Olaf, so having that spell shield is huge. Secondly, because you were so far ahead, the damage profile from that is absolutely disgusting. And because you are not reliant, as I am, on knockups, because you don't use your W enough, you won't notice the lack of CDR. For me, that's the biggest thing. I notice if I'm not 30-40% Rek'Sai with Black Cleaver, Blue, and Warrior, I really notice it because that's just how I play. I'm really fluid about my movement. You don't use your W more than one time in a fight, so why do we need the CDR?
Yeah.
It's nice to have always, obviously. Maybe you will use it, but in this case, I feel like Edge of Night would have been very spicy for you.
Yeah, I normally do get Edge of Night. I mean, honestly, I don't know.
You walked over that too. You walked over this too. Your scanner hit it, you gotta go back and clear it. Because now they know where you are. Because you don't clear it, so now they know where you went. And so now they can collapse on you again. They know exactly where you are. They're all gonna rotate. Because of this ward that you didn't clear. Do I anticipate Doom?
Most likely.
Doom!
Oh yeah, I remember this. I was screaming at home at this point. I was like,
this picture. We need someone to clip this. This is the image of sadness.
Squash bug.
And when your entire world turned upside down.
Yeah.
When you've made too many wrong decisions in life and you look back in your photo album, you see this, you're like, yeah, that's when I knew things were going badly.
That's it. Yeah,
that's this right here.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. So for me, the things I'm talking about now, we talked about the camp sequencing and the game flow states and the tempo, etc. That's causing you to be behind and not sort of take your lead to the next level. But these other little things add up at every point in the game. The W, the auto cancels, the scanning of vision, the restraints to say, you know what? A good run by Camille. I love you, my friend, Mr. Kali, but I'm not dying with you. Goodbye. Jax, you overpush without vision again. Again, same with the Kali, right? Pushing without vision here, pushing without vision here. That's punishable, by what's something that's not too extreme. You find a punishment, but there needs to be a punishment for pushing without vision when you're a duo.
Right.
And here too. As soon as you scan, so if you're gonna scan this, right, you get 10 seconds. Okay, you've just cleared both wards, and you still have a quarter of the time left.
Yeah.
So every time you're gonna make this play, start it in the middle of the river, and you will have more than enough time to clear all these wards out. So if you're concerned about that, I'm just throwing it out there as something to put into the big brain bank.
Yeah.
Every time you're gonna clear, because by not clearing this, it's like it's a security camera. You didn't cut the feed you cut the feed of every camera in the house, but you didn't cut the feed of the camera at the front gate. They know you're in the house because you didn't leave. and that's exactly what this ward does, and that's exactly why you die. And it's 100% avoidable.
And I think, even also other than that, I think sirens should be going off. First of all, I saw even the tremor sense of people showing up, and I mean, I see dragons spawning, and there's no one else on the map. So concern. Shit should be concern should be definitely bleeping in my head, you know.
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
think that's just tunnel visioning.
Ha.
And I feel
Humorous wordplay.
I feel like what do you think on the end of like map impact? Because I feel like that's probably one of my biggest weaknesses is like probably like impacting the map, and even based on like some of the stats that I know like you tend to refer to some of the like the profile stats.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think like I forget what the exact stat is on like the actual
Kill
client.
kill conversion ratio. An
Yeah,
objective
kill
control
conversion.
ratio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Like I'm at like 21% right now,
Ooh,
and
that
I know
is
that's low.
that's
You know?
iron levels. Yeah. No, maybe. What's
Yeah,
iron? That was iron, right?
you know.
21%. Yeah. Because
Let me double. Yeah, no. Well, actually, I think it's like if I think from bronze to iron, I think like iron is 20, and then bronze is like 23. So it's like
that's a
literally
big
like
drop.
iron 1. You know.
Iron 1/bronze 4. You're like right
Give me credit where it's due, man. You know.
in promos for bronze is where your object. And you know what the thing is with iron, it's fun. It's because they're learning the game. They don't really know anything at all, and so there doesn't occur to them. Hey, you know what? I
Yeah.
made a kill objective. But in
Yeah.
bronze, they don't do it either. But they're just used to the fact that dragons win games, so they just by default think, "Oh, I will take this." It's not so much a cognizant action, but with you, it really must be. And the thing for me is, this first counter jungling here, that was instincts. And it's hard to explain, but you know the guy did a full clear and you killed him. And you know that inherently, I tell everyone in every coaching, in every video, second Gromp, second Krugs will spawn at around 4.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the person does an inner camp clear, but of course, that's slap on your champions, right? Hecarim does an inner camp clear, that's not going to be up. So you know the guy's going to go down and sequence up, which you told me. You were thinking about it, you were tracking it, it was active. You had this instinct, right? Then Raptors must be up. Let me take him. That was great. But here, that instinct seems to go out of the window. That early game instinct you have gets tilted out of you by your own decisions. And it's self-frustration, I'm going to say. I'm not a psychologist, but I'm going to hypothesize that you have self-frustration for the fact that your sequencing is down, that the fact that you lost a Herald and a Dragon, the fact that you've now died 3 times in a row. And that starts corrupting how you're feeling about the game. And you begin to get more greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound something like what's maybe happening? Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I honestly, a part of me also feels like I don't see those little things that had happened that like kind of changed the course of the game. So I'm kind of still thinking like, oh well, I mean, I only died. I get it. I threw all those like 2-3 kill deaths now, but like I'm still ahead, you know. And then in reality, like, but the course of the game has changed, you know.
And you're at 400 gold.
Ready for it. Yeah.
You're at 400 gold only.
Yeah.
Whereas, so what are we at? 819. He makes a play top lane. You get double kill bottom lane and shut down. At this point, you're up 1,200. You know, 1,200, and in the case of 5 minutes, he's gained 800 on you. And by doing nothing. You know,
exactly.
Your Jax, your Akali, your duo, twice overstayed. You know, and you died twice trying to help them. And so that's a gift. You gifted him 800 gold. It's very rarely. He didn't earn it.
Yeah, at all. That's it.
And now again, like now you're looking to fight too much now, you see. So this is good because your whole team is grouped. But when your team isn't grouped and they're resetting, I mean, you're walking into the jungle by yourself. Right, I'm waiting for my team. That's a dragon spawning. I cleared the vision. I'm a ditch. Let me take these camps and then I can join up with my team and take the dragon. Right? The next thing on your minds should be immediately, okay, they have a Ziggs. This is half HP. There's no ways we get this. Okay? What should your minds be on?
Herald.
There you go. Objective kill ratio. You got dragons. We didn't get kills, but we can take these camps so you could easily, right? E through this, plant over to the Krugs, snap them up. If these are level 1, I'm going to cry tears of sad.
They could. They
that's
probably
right.
are.
2-1.
Yeah. See, that's a, you know.
Are you
honestly,
a Krug conservationist? Because that's how you get.
I know. I really gotta like. I don't know. I tend to like just ignore them. I just like they're out of the way for me, and I'm just like. Oh.
Sometimes you gotta get stoned on those Krugs. That's what they in China they call them stones. You gotta enjoy. You know, just take them off the map.
Yeah.
Take him off the map. Sequence up to your raptors. Join your team at the exact same place, except this time you have, double camps. And because they're level 1, you basically take these in 0.2 seconds. And now shove this wave. Don't scan this. I don't care about this bush. This is a stupid bush. These are the bushes I want to scan because I want to take this. So my vision needs to translate to guarding the entrances. My scanning needs to make sure I can take this. And, you've got 2 plants here. 1 Scry's Bloom, 2 Scry's Blooms. I can turn the fog of war off. We've got a lot of Scry's Blooms, so you can just control scan this whole thing, hit all these plants, put wards down, and then hop over and begin this. And if you do have the lead, like, let's say you haven't thrown all that gold, that's if they want to contest and fight you, fight them, kill them, win the game,
Yeah.
Like, we're scanning and sitting on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah.
And this should be currently being taken. You're taking it. Solo as well, doesn't matter. Taking it. It's gone. It's gone. You got it. But why is this ape 1 level above you? No offense. Yeah. If you're the Olaf, I mean it in a joking way. His name is also the Thugger Baby, so I'm gonna stand by it. Because he's got no skin either. He's running around. He's ridiculous. Whatever this Olaf is doesn't deserve to be a level ahead of our Rek'Sai friend here.
Yeah.
Like he's not even doing anything with purpose.
Yeah. That's it. That's what it was so frustrating.
And you still destroy him. Oh, that E is beautiful. I love it. Fully stacked E true damage. Goodbye, Olaf.
Yeah.
Why are we chasing? We have numbers. Herald. But again, the Baron's gonna spawn, right? So we're chasing kills against a Ziggs and an Aphelios. Hey, Jax is doing stuff. Jax was doing stuff.
Yeah.
And now Baron spawned. And you're dead.
And I killed a Leona. You know what I mean? It's like...
Hey, in your defense, you killed Olaf too.
Right. Yeah.
And the time has slapped this one down as well as slapped this ward down also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, what it seems like, you said you felt like you lose control. So let's say there's a 20-minute game and you rectify everything else. This is probably more like how you're playing to throw games. This, for me, is a throw. Right. We made a pick on the jungler, and there's a neutral objective up. That's Christmas. No smite contention. Yeah. And the beauty of the Herald is that you can pull it out to avoid any Ziggs bomb shenanigans, because again, this is now what? Well, that's a lot of damage. And I don't know, does it calculate as AP? It's actually not that high yet. Okay, so you're still okay, it's not that high, but it's gonna become very high soon. You only has Ludens, so you're actually okay for now. But either way, just be aware of the Ziggs for this stuff. Oh, that's rough. That's rough, but I mean, the nice thing is, for me, are they really pinging Baron?
See, like all that being said, and I think they do grab it.
This is a greed play. Yeah.
I think they grab it at some point. I know.
Yeah, not now. This is that's way too early. They don't have the damage. If they do that, you guys clean them up, and that's just classic throw. So now, what are you telling me? What happens is basically there's just it's quiet dead time. Just everyone farms and relaxes for a bit. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Oh no! Please don't tell me.
Oh yeah, forget about those. You gotta
come on.
Make a video and edit and put little tears at the Krugs, man, and little safari hats on the Rek'Sai. Yeah, they're here to stay. At
the Kruger National Park in South Africa, we do not harm Krugs. We store them on the corner of the park so that no one can see them or kill them. They are rare endangered species.
That's it. And like just to say, like, what am I doing mid here? There's nothing going on. Like, just take the Krugs, take that little bot farm, and then look, Dragon's up.
It was more the following for me. You came out of base directly to this. Again, like I know everyone wants Galio's fried chicken from the Raptor pit, but let's head up to Cromp, Wolves, Raptors, Krugs. You guys did nothing for 2013, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And basically that's good, because for once, there was no NA RAM, and for once everyone understood, hey, let's fight over an objective. There's no objective, so we're not gonna fight. Good job. But during that time, we must farm. And because you go Raptors, Krugs, Grump, I cry every time. You know,
Yeah.
Grump, Wolves, Raptors, Krugs, off the map, back to base, spend gold, get control woods. Grump, Wolves, now you're back in time for Dragon.
Yeah.
You know, that's perfect filling of downtime. It allows you to shadow. You just let it push. There's no ways you guys are taking towers against the Ziggs. Let it push, relax. There's been no fighting anyway. And instead of getting 3 camps, or maybe 4 camps that you got, you know, you get like 7. And now you're level up. You know what's sad is even those level 1 Krugs would give you level 12 right now.
Yeah. That's it. I'm leaving experience on the map.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Way too much. And I feel like sometimes I prioritize. My thought process is like, oh yeah, take the camp from them, and then like, oh, your camp's gonna be there anyways. You know, like your camp's always gonna be there. And I don't know like, what if that's the right kind of thought process.
Pog Virkayu's in the chat for that one. He finally took the Krugs. He finally took the Krugs. Except the problem is you took the Krugs. While we're memeing here, you took the Krugs as this is spawning, and your mid laner should not be caught out here. This is a good play. What's their vision like? Let me see. They slap this down. They have crab vision. They know you left. They see Jax in the bottom lane. They probably assume you're farming your jungle, so they pull the trigger and engage. It's a good engage by them. But we shouldn't be in this position as a team. But as a Rek'Sai player trying to 1v9 the game, or 1v5, to no disrespect your teammates, you know, you shouldn't allow them to be in this position.
Yeah.
I think we've seen enough in the first 20 minutes that you should feel like I could be level 15 or something right now.
Yeah, there's like at this point I think the game's pretty much gone. Like,
Your Akali's spam pinging you.
yeah, it could be.
That is, she is.
He's probably pissed that, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing the Krugs instead of fighting here?
Oh, why did you die here? Why did you die here? I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah, right.
There's a dragon spawning shortly. We're not looking to get picked off. You have to respect it. You just have to chill.
That's it. I mean, that's what I'm kind of going for. You know, like I'm thinking that there's dragon.
All right.
Times.
Flash from the Yona.
And then this is just again like I guess frustration that I would say that like, well, now I can't do dragon because like 2 people on my team, well, or like 2 people on my team died. So there's no way I do dragon. But now I just kind of give up Baron.
You're going edge second. So the alternative is of course Edge of Night into what's it called? What's the bullshit item, everyone? The bullshit item that every fighter buys because it's broken.
Sense?
There you go. You get a bit of CDR and healing from that as well. Yeah, Death Stance. Umbral Glaive. Umbral Glaive? Barney, come on. No. Yeah. So for me, I mean, this dragon's about to spawn, and you see everyone dying between the towers. You have 2 choices. From yesterday's video. The Wrath. You can chase them down and get Wrath for killing your Akali, or, like a Chad, you get Wrath on the map by taking the dragon.
Yeah.
So I think I do what you do. I hover. I'm patient, but I'm not making a full... You know, I'd love to go in, but there's a big, fat cannon.
Yeah.
And I think you and Jax could easily just go do the dragon from the back of the pit.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna lose this tower no matter what. The whole team's topside.
Chances are they're gonna probably even just take the Baron at that point. Now it's like just like give them both.
Yeah.
Kind of like cutting your losses. I should have just tried to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do dragon anyways. Probably lose Baron anyways. At this point, if I'm just gonna trade it for a Ziggs, like not worth. Just take the dragon. If they come to dragon instead, well, that's just the way it goes, and then they'll take Baron anyway. So, but you know what I mean? I guess like a probability game at that point.
Yeah. What happens? What you should do is if there's no minions here and you see it's gonna hit Ziggs in the face, yeah, go for it, right? Because he dies, you don't have to ult, and you can just go back through the tunnel.
Yeah.
There's 2 plays for me. 3. There's 2 plays. No, 3 plays. You do what you did and die. 2. If this is up, now I can't see the time on the replays, which sucks, but if this is up as they're still taking this tower, I honestly try and turbo burn it. You should be able to do it pretty quickly. I really try and take this. If the spawn of this is a little bit too delayed, I just make sure I take my raptors. Okay? I'm relaxed. They're all here. They're gonna go for this, right? 100%. Or they're gonna push mid. If they push mid, you have a free dragon. And then you can go back to base and then help defend. Because there's no ways you can... You're Rek'Sai. What are we in this case? Rek'Sai players? What are we in this kind of game with a Ziggs and a Leona? We're just a naked mole rat. You know, we're blind and we just have to watch and wait and flank. But when we don't have numbers advantages, you can't do anything. So, watch the spawn time of the dragon. I probably just sneak that away. Because that gives you soul point. So even though you lost a tower, even though you got picked off, and you lost a little bit of traction in the mid lane, you still get soul point.
Yeah.
Which is huge. It's not the best soul by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a good soul, and I don't feel like giving ultimate cooldowns to Ziggs, or Leona, or Camille, or Olaf. Yeah. Secondly, if they immediately rotate to the dragon such that you cannot sneak it, I'm stealing this. I'm trying to steal this. I think. For solo queue.
Yeah,
That's the greed play, chat. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you now as well, Sigs. I am probably looking to steal this because if you're players, I'm going to die. I'm going to try die stealing the dragon. I'm not going to die killing the Ziggs.
Yeah.
You died for nothing. You died for literally nothing. If you're going to die, if you steal this and die, you're going to lose the Baron, but you're going to lose the Baron anyway. At least you get soul point. You know?
Yeah, it's min-maxing pretty much.
Yeah. And the thing is, by dying, the only time you don't want to steal is if I die on the steal, do we lose the game? Or do we lose inhibs? And do we lose everything, you know? Like, if the risk is way too high, you don't go for it. But I think here, if you're going to die anyway. But most likely, if I'm you, this is already dead. How long was this up? 23-14 by the time they get to 23-16? 23-02? I think you can take it. And I think Jax comes with you too now. Like, it's up. You could be on this right now. I'm pretty sure you could take it in time. I mean, it's close and you might die, but I think you can get it. With Edge of Night, you definitely do. And he's not even in the pit.
Yeah.
He's not even in the pit, which means it was a free steal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no coaching for that. It's just me pointing it out to you and saying, try and be aware of it.
No, 100%. No, yeah, I totally get that. I totally get it. I even at this point, like, this is just like, just salvaging, like, how we're salvaging. Because at this, we shouldn't have been at this point, based on where we were at.
No.
Yeah, you know.
No, exactly. All right. Well, what would you say? Okay, so we're 23 minutes, and obviously I can see it's just a whole bunch of fighting. And at this point, you're behind. You don't have Conqueror. They have a Ziggs and an Aphelios and a Leona and a Camille that's level 15. This is a rough game for you. Is there a specific point that you want to address something that we haven't addressed yet, or?
I mean, really, it's like the main thing I wanted to like go over was the whole premise of like, okay, me having that lead and then me doing literally just throwing it in the garbage. And as you kind of pointed out, it was all those like little things that weren't taken into account. So now I'm just trying to see like if we would summarize it up. Yeah, because we don't have to go through like the rest. The rest is pretty much like
fight, lose objective, fight, lose objective.
Yeah, basically kind of thing, you know. So at this point, I'm just trying to say like where like just in summary, where could I have gone?
Okay.
Like, where should I have been? And I guess, and from what I like, you know, if you were to ask me the question here, like I would say probably it's just that more on like the objective control and just like, and stop. See, like where I'm thinking here is that I put too much value on taking away camps from the Olaf when I was already so ahead.
Yes.
Like I think I could have just like not touched the camp for like 7 minutes of the game and just gank the shit out of everyone, and I would have had a much bigger impact and much bigger and much better result would come out of it, and he would still be behind me. And you know what I mean?
For me, yeah, exactly. And this the bigger things I think you need to focus on is flow of the map. I talk about that. You know, you were so drawn to the Krugs, you forgot about all rational reason for going down or up. You know, like down a whole bunch of camps and a gank. You said no, his Krugs. And I think trying to sort of bring that into focus. Okay, his Krugs are up, but that, you know, it's on the other side of the map. So you go to the store on the other side of town instead of the store next to you. Yeah. There's a store next to you that has everything you need, plus a 2-for-1 special today. The other store has the same thing, but no 2-for-1 special. And you were like, no, I go to that one. Because it's my store, and I always go to that store. And I think it's kind of that stubbornness, right?
Yeah.
That comes in.
So when should I be invading then?
Well, this is good. This was good. This was nice. I like this a lot. It wasn't entirely measured, but in the future you can measure it. I liked it. Good instinct, good tracking. And the thing is, right, you see the Olaf here. Now, what do I gain from seeing the Olaf here? Right. 1. He full cleared level 4, took crab, and we killed him mid. When he died, he had 28 CS. Meaning, full clear 24, plus 28 for the crab. Right?
Yeah.
He shows up again, 30 seconds later, on my crab vision, with 28 CS. Therefore, he has taken no other camps. Right? Mm-hmm. Which means, by his path thing, he's going up. I would think the guy's going to go up. There is an inherent risk that he might gank, which you and I both know he does. But that's why we should now notice this, which I don't think you did. Spam ping. Bot lane, or ping the Grump. Ping that Olaf sees so everyone knows. Very important information. 2, great counter jungling, reset. But you give him the same information. Red team's vision.
Yeah.
Oh, hi Rek'Sai, coming from my jungle for no reason. Now, what does this guy do? He sees you and says, okay, I lost my raptors. I can take this Grump. I mean, he should look to go to your jungle, but it's vision. And immediately abuses the fact that he knows you're not there to go for a gank. Which gives him the dragon. You see? So, everything was great early, but let's now, don't waste time. Reset, knowing that you saw the guy here, and go straight to bottom lane.
Yeah.
If he shows up for a gank, counter gank. If he doesn't show up, make the gank yourself. Or simply take your Krugs into your raptors, and knowing that he has basically detached from his clearing, you can cut him off, kill him because you have a lead, you'll be close to 6. You'll be level 5 with significantly more AD, and then you can get the dragon. And from there, I think you're going to have a much better time slotting and the herald slotting and the camp clearing. Mm-hmm. But it's that overstay. It's this greed that you have a few times. You know? Yeah. All of that adds up, and now you have no control of the map. And the nice thing is it's all in your... And here, like, you go topside, why? You last saw the Olaf here, right?
Yeah. A part of me is like that's already kind of gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
You know.
I would assume as much, but we saw him go back into his jungle. Mm-hmm. We saw him go back into his jungle. And you know, he's going to show up here as well. You see him. So you immediately don't have to stay here, right? You've passed topside. You can rotate. You can rotate. You can detach and rotate down. Especially when you see them both go up. You see them both go up, so okay, we have mid-prio, they're going dragon. Okay, let's collapse and kill them and then take the dragon ourselves. That's a play too. So, it's not only reading, it's also reacting. You see what I'm saying?
So, I would think that the key thing here is, I don't know if this is a right mentality, like thinking I should be trying to kind of especially in this case, like I'm ahead, right?
Yeah.
I got ahead. Now, I should be trying to be where he's going to be no matter what, because I know I'm ahead of him.
Not always. In the case that their Aphelios was alive and their mid had prio, there's no ways you can contest this. Mm-hmm. So this is the right play.
Yeah. Right?
Because you can't 4v1. Your Kali tries and dies. That's the problem. The Kali tries what you just said and dies for
it.
Yeah. If it's later in the game and there's a herald up, you just take the herald in kind. You know? Okay, I'll give it. I take this. You know? That's fine. But in this case, you had an option. And the fact that Aphelios wasn't even there and that the Olaf's level 4 and you have a huge lead, and we had camps down the bottom lane, and we had mid-prio, I see a play. But even then, it's not even that. I mean, there's a dive mid lane level 6, and you're wasting time top lane with a Camille that's going back to base, you know?
Yeah.
So that little stuff early is a big problem. And then obviously here the greed play. Too much of this stuff where you caught out 3v1, where you chase 3v1, where you flash in when you don't need to. That costs you spells and HP in situations where you could use it. And 2, this vision here, just make sure you're not putting yourself in a closed house with a camera on that saw you enter.
Yeah.
So for me, what I'm thinking of, let me tell you right now, is I just ganked mid. Sona's alive. Jhin is here. I said earlier, because we're looking at reflection points, take these and gank bottom lane. You could even go and gank directly.
Mm-hmm.
And then fall back to your camps as reward. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing for me.